So Wisdolia is primarily a desktop app. What are some of the things you do like actually tactically in the product to get people to refer their friends? Like on iOS apps, you do the typical like invite 5 contacts to skip the wait list, or TikTok went really viral by adding the little watermark in the bottom, the bottom third of their video so that when people shared it on Instagram, you could see that it was from TikTok. What are you guys doing?
Yeah, so we're running a ton of experiments here, and the way we're kind of like breaking down how to come up with these experiments is thinking about when should we ask for a referral, where should we ask the user to do a referral, how should we and how should we do that, right? And so right now we're mostly experimenting with where, right? So we first started in like your first generation experience. You upload a document, you hit generate, and you get a set of questions. And we asked like, do you want to share this deck of cards with a friend? That was the first place. Now we're experimenting with putting it like somewhere in the flow of the experience, like after 3 cards, asking them to do it there. We also have one like a share link with friend, like in the header. So right now we're just trying to figure out like where can we put this that has best conversion. Maybe it's also in the sign up flow, like the last step in the sign up. That's where we're experimenting. The other question is like, how do you just say like, hey, share it with your friends, here's a link. Or do you maybe provide rewards, right? And rewards can come in 2 forms. Either you just give them money, or maybe you give them a discount on your premium, your like paid product subscription. Or you can even, I think a more creative approach is, what if you feature gate some things or limits if they refer? For example, on Wisdolia, you're limited to generating 15 sets of cards per month for free. What if we lowered that to 5, but every friend you refer and invite increases that limit by 3. So you go from like 5 to 8 to 11 to 12, right? So these are all experiments that we want to try running to see what ends up working best. And of course, other than that, it's social features, right? Right now, Wisdolia is a single player sort of experience. If we build more social features, does that add more value? Do people want that? And how might that affect referrals?
Dude, Quizlet got me through all of high school because it was like people would make the flashcards. I think I went through an online high school, and so the books we used were very standard, like across like the basic California public education. And so for every like homework assignment or for every, like test that was coming up, I could just go on Quizlet and I would see other people's like question answers that they had created. And I would put those into flashcards, and I would literally just, spaced repetition and just like go through everything until I like had a basic, like a pretty good idea of what would happen on the test the next day. And then I could go in, and usually I would end up with decent scores off of just other people's Quizlet flashcards.
Yeah, 100%. I think Quizlet got like the sharing done really well. The UX was like simple enough where it was like easy to use and like fun to share.
Is that something you're thinking about doing?
Yeah, for sure. Especially like, I think one thing they did really well as well is SEO, right? Like you can search up like...
You just copy paste a question and then the answer comes up and it's from Quizlet.
Exactly, yeah. So they have really good SEO. That's something that we definitely need to do better at. So yeah, I think there's a lot to learn there. But even beyond like the social features Quizlet has, it's kind of like, again, thinking from first principles, how do people today, especially med students, naturally interact or study together when and if they do? And what does that look like? Is there a potential to create a better experience there? Because you can do we'll do the basic things for sure that have a higher confidence interval. But there's the potential to innovate on social features as well for learning that we're curious about.